first 100 days of Danhausen just seems to me like 100 nightmares. I'm Chris Wolvie, wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Dang it! Italy was not molto bene for me. I'd have been above 500 at least if I didn't let my gut get in the way of my brains of the Rhodes Gunther fight. Well, maybe the rematch will rectify that. Anyway, I haven't counted, but given it's been about 3 months since Elimination Chamber, that would make it around 100 days since Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis opened the crate to find a coffin, and out popped Danhausen. And my first thought, oh dear Lord, what are we getting ourselves into? I haven't heard of the man before the self-proclaimed 400-pounder that's skinnier than a ring rope arrived. But the more I read about him, the more I wondered what the hell the TKO bosses and Mr. Levesque were thinking. If this man is a legitimate wrestler, then so is Dangerous Danny Davis in the late 1980s. And so was Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the few managers of the 80s who didn't have a successful wrestling career before becoming a manager. And so was, well, I could go on with a plethora of jobbers I saw in Superstars of Wrestling and Wrestling Challenge, but you get the drift. It's becoming obvious to anyone who didn't know the man before and never researched like me that Danhausen is here for one reason and one reason only: to produce laughs. He's definitely not here to win titles, or for that matter even wrestle. Since his debut, he's only been in 3 televised matches total. Now, I'm sure he was involved in a number of house shows, from which a few videos showed up on WWE's social media, but the matches probably went the same way as the televised ones, really. Danhausen gets his ass whipped, the heel turns to the crowd and soaks in the booze. Dan sits up like the Undertaker used to and screams, "You are cursed," making some malfunction happen against the heel, followed by a weak drop kick to the mush and a 3 count. All the other televised times, Dan's in his not-so-secret lab working on some monstrosity of science and interrupted by someone, usually The Miz and or Kit Wilson, before making sure that heel gets the worst of the deal out of him. You know, he's like the online poker sites say to those who really want to gamble, for entertainment purposes only. Oh yeah, and his demands before he signed to SmackDown, including immediate and irreversible induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. This is a lot to demand from a cross between an insane clown posse fan and one of those pencil-neck geeks Freddie Blassie used to for a toothpick. Before coming to WWE, he didn't do that much elsewhere either. How is he getting on TV every day while people like Joe Hendry rarely appear? This guy's a skinny Eugene, a man with very little in-ring talent but an interesting quirk that makes the fans laugh for some inexplicable reason. And yet, thanks to what happened recently, his fame is only going to expand. See, he and ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith had a bit of a row concerning the New York Knicks. Smith was certain the Knicks would at least make the finals, but Danhausen laughed it off and essentially cursed the Knicks. Sure enough, the Knicks started to stumble a bit in the first round. Then Dan asked for an apology from Smith in exchange for an uncurse. And with the curse lifted, the Knicks won all but one of their remaining games. I'll let you know why they were cursed then. En route to their first NBA title in 53 years. Now Dan is claimed to be king of New York and demanding statues, all keys to the city, and maybe even a mayor's annual salary. And the people love it. Look, I'm not against the entertainment part of sports entertainment. As someone who grew up in the midst of the angle boom, in which practically everyone had a ridiculous quirk about them, I can see how this could bring in more casual fans, especially the youth. All kids love clowns until they grow out of it, and Danhausen fits that definition to a T. Face paint and all. But speaking as someone who found clowns were more scary than funny at an earlier age than most, I really thought the WWE had gone past the eras of Jake the Snake, Adorable Adrian, Hacksaw Jim, and, well, Doink the Clown. Until Danhausen starts showing up in the ring more often and not wasting 10 minutes of a 3, soon to be back to 2-hour show on his antics, I consider him a waste of time and talent. Well, he has no wrestling talent to waste, so much for that. I dares you, Danny boy. Curse me if you think I'm wrong. I know how to curse in 5 languages. I'm Chris Wall with the Wrestling Vlog, who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace more than ever, and I'll see you